Chip Marzuco and Kathy, and we're talking about the Spring for Down Syndrome. That's what happens as you get older. Spring for Down Syndrome event here at the Casey Hall grounds in St. Genevieve. And basically, you started that and with some help from the community, I'm sure. What, 4 years ago?
Actually, this is our 8th year.
8th year.
Yeah, 8th year, and the first event was a couple of us sitting around the house talking about trying to raise some money for a Down Syndrome Association, and that year we
wanted to just have a meal, and it turned into a dance, and it turned into a bike ride, and it just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, bigger and bigger and bigger all the time. This year, Don, we didn't get a chance to tell you this whenever we had our interview, because this just happened last night, but a company from down south is coming in and bringing a petting zoo in. So that's going to be something kind of unique to the situation too. So great.
At the outset, when you first started this, what was your goal? What were your thoughts on what you could do with this?
Actually, back then, it was before the Challenger sports program got where it is now, but we used to raise money just for Down syndrome, which is St. Louis Association for Downs, which is out of St. Louis. They helped us out tremendously with Andrew whenever he was young, and we keep enforcing this, that they're there for us down here too. So anybody in St. Genevieve that wants or has a person with Down syndrome or knows somebody that has Down syndrome, if they want to contact me, or I got all the information out here on a table, that you can get a hold of them and they'll help you out tremendously. And basically it's free of charge. So that's where some of our funds go. Since we expanded into the Challenger sports program and stuff now, we've got about, 3/4 of the money goes to our
Stays in town.
Yeah, about 80% stays in town, and the other goes to St. Louis Association for Downs. And when we say that, it helps fund the Braden's Challenger playground and the Challenger baseball field.
And how successful has it grown? Say the first year, what kind of revenue did you bring in compared to the subsequent years?
I think it was about 5,000, Kathy's thinking. And now last year we ended up bringing in over 17,000. So, and this year we've got 80 plus baskets, which last year we had probably 50. And we had, how many oral auction did we have last year?
15.
About 15, and this year we got over 25. The facility outside has grown tremendously. We've got both schools going to be here helping with teachers in the dunking booth. We've got a lot more activities outside than we've ever had before.
Great. And what's been the response from the community? How have they responded, and what kind of things have they done, not only to participate in the event, but to get behind it with you?
People, we were sitting in a restaurant Friday, and I looked out and somebody put something in the back of Chip's truck.
Yeah.
Just for a donation.
Wow.
Yeah, it's tremendous. I mean, it's hard to believe when you look in here and you see the support that this town is bringing, to this, which is just tremendous. I mean, we've probably got over 600-700 different entities that's helping fund what we've got going on here, with anything from cash donations to baskets to oral auction items. You don't even have to ask them no more. What's weird is last year, after the event was over with, we had already people contacting us to say, hey, we've got stuff for next year, and they gave them to us, and we had to store them all summer or all of the year and have it ready for this year.
Wow.
It's great. This community is awesome, and you can see it because, I mean, there's no other community that's got the Challenger baseball field and the unique playground that we have.
You bet. Well, let's talk about weather. You guys have been battling Mother Nature from the first year, weren't you?
Day one, yep. This is the good old number 8, like we discussed, and this is the first year that if you look on your radar, there is no rain in sight, which is tremendous because we've had rain every year. We even made I don't know, Don, I don't have an umbrella up in here right now, but we made umbrellas this year to scare off the rain, which it did a tremendous job at that. Last year we had 2.5 inches of rain and everything outside was canceled. All the outside activities had to be canceled. So it was a sad scenario because when you work, 12 months out of the year to get the thing together and then it falls apart in, just a couple hours, it's sad.
And despite that, you still raised $15,000.
Actually, $17,000.
$17,000.
And what's amazing, you're saying how the community reacts. Every year since we started, it's been growing. We've been making more money every year. And last year, like we said, we had the worst year ever with rain, and we still sold over 550 chicken dinners. So the community, when it rained, they just came all indoors and spent tons of money on the items we had in here and bought a lot of food. So it was great.
That's great. So let's talk about the excitement that's happened over the past few years, especially with the Challenger Field and Braden and Friends Playground. I mean, you talked earlier about the support the community's given for that kind of action, that kind of facility. I mean, what's been the response?
Oh, it's been tremendous. I mean, when we first had the Field of Dreams, we were kind of worried about it because we started asking people for money, and we did get a lot of funds. But we were scared that it was going to dry up because nobody was going to see it done. So we finally got enough financing to do it, and after it was built, it blossomed. Everybody is just shocked with what we've got. And we've got probably 60 plus clients out there playing ball actually right now. They're out there playing now, and they're going to be coming here afterwards.
Now, I've been told it's probably the best facility between St. Louis and Memphis.
Actually, I think it really is, and it's probably even better in some ways because whenever Kevin Engler did a dedication, he even said he covers multiple areas, and he said this is the best in his total district or all his areas that he covers, and it is. And what's neat is it's all funded by us, the community. We didn't have to go here, there, or anyplace else.
Well, Jason Schott told a great story at the dedication. I'm sure you could repeat that story about the funding when they went to Little Tykes and Little Tykes I guess has a program where they will help you do the fundraising.
Yes.
And tell me what Jason Schott told them.
I don't know if it's going to be word for word, but basically they said that we don't need any help with the funding. We've got the money here to pay for it, and they about fell over because every other place that they built one, they had to go get funding to do what we've done, and we've had the money there basically to say, okay, this is what we want, here's a check, everything's taken care of, which is awesome. I mean, if you go out to that playground, there's so many unique things out there that's some things one in a nation or one in any area right now, and the kids have a total blast. I don't know if anybody's seen the video that they made about the playground at Little Tykes, which is just tremendous. It talks about the lady that kind of drummed it all up, and it's a tearjerker because it's neat to see the kids be able to play with all the other kids hand in hand, and you don't see any disabilities with them at all, which is great.
What's next? What can you do? How can you top this? I mean, what? What was that, Kathy?
Every year I say I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, Kathy. Well, Kathy's been putting up with a lot the last 8 years.
I understand.
I tell you what, she's been a backbone though, and she's been helping out tremendously. Without her on my side, it wouldn't be able to happen. But the funds that we raise like this year, we need to keep raising because if we don't, we won't be able to keep the facilities up. There is maintenance fees, there is things that get broke. There's going to be other things that we're going to have to do to keep things up, and who knows what we might build next for our special needs in town.
Well, didn't you start soccer this year?
Yes, this past year, just to give a quick rundown, we've had baseball, of course, at Challenger Baseball Field. We've got Challenger basketball at the community center, and this past year we started Challenger soccer, and then they even got Challenger Zumba, I'm sorry, and those all need to be funded. So, and what's neat about all this is 90% of all this is basically free to the people with a disability. So you don't have to pay to come play basketball, the play baseball, to play soccer, so this funds was what helps pay to keep all that flowing.
That's great. Well, once you get this one under your belt, when do you start planning for the next one? As you said, you end up with donations the day after. Here's for next year.
Correct.
So that could be a problem eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna need a facility to store everything. Our basement looks like a bomb went off in
Yeah,
it because
so-
we got so much stuff.
So basically, it's
Yeah, it
take a
starts
weekend
instantly.
off and
It's almost you don't because a lot of the things that goes on, we got people that's already saying, "Hey, we want to do this or we want to help for next year." So we already have to start with a list, putting down people's names, who's wanting to help or what's going to be added for next year.
you've got a business to run.
Yeah, yeah. This is our sideline.
How do you find the time?
He knows the right people in the right places as far as that goes.
Oh yeah. And
One
we
thing
would.
I want to say, what's her name? Donnie and Brenda usually run the kitchen. I think they picked this weekend for vacation. But anyway, all Ronnie did was go ask the nutrition center for a couple of cooks. And they volunteered and they made all the liver dumplings and donated.
Yeah.
Well, that's the spirit of St. Genevieve, isn't that something?
It
I
is.
mean, people talk about that. It's this and other events in town. People just come forward and do it.
Oh, they do. That's what's so neat about the whole scenario is, since we started out small and now, like Jimmy Dunsey and Debbie takes over the bike ride, the tractor club came in and they say they took over that part of it. We come up and like Harry Davis and them takes over and does the sound, and then we always have a band waiting in lieu for next year to donate, the music for the evening. We wouldn't have what we've got here with the baskets without two people that helped us tremendously, and that's Tina Ringwald, who is a blessing with the baskets, and Rick Henderson, which is both. They are our two backbones on helping get the baskets, all the products brought in to us. So it's getting a lot easier because we got the right people in the right places to help us out.
And you get places like, I know the Cardinals are involved, aren't they?
Actually, we talked to the Cardinals and the Blues organization. They are ready for doing some stuff for next year, but we didn't get involved in it early enough. But we've got people that actually donated 5 different sets, is it, Kathy, of Cardinal tickets with a bunch of Cardinal paraphernalia. That
I see a lot of it around here. That's why I thought the Cardinals. So they're going to be involved next year.
We're in the works of that. That's some of the things like.
That bird is expensive.
But some of the stuff that we've got going on that we are, like the Magic House is involved now. We've been talking with, what do you call it, the Arch, and with the Blues organization, the Cardinals organization, we're getting more and more involved with all of them, which helps out greatly because whenever we get them involved, we'll be able to get a lot of fun, neat stuff and get a lot of larger items to help raffle off.
Where do you see it going?
Kathy says
10 and done.
10 and done.
Well, at some point, it may start developing its own momentum. And you guys won't have to spend all the time pushing.
And actually, that's one thing I was thinking, and it would be nice to have what do you want to call it, a group of people to help, get, what do you want to call it, a
foundation
or
something.
a committee, a committee, so that we can actually do this and be able to spread it out a little bit more and have a little bit more organization without us having to live and breathe it, But we definitely want to keep it going, and the reason why we want to keep it going because we need it for all our special needs.
I want to say something else.
Okay.
I didn't realize what a great school we had till
Correct.
Chip was talking to a lady that lived up north in Herculaneum. She has a girl with Down syndrome. She actually moved her family and put her child in our school, and it's been 100% turnaround. So I didn't realize how good of school and community we have.
Yeah,
It is.
It is.
It's awesome.
And that's just really, really shows the heart of this community.
Yeah. And we're still trying to figure out how she got even found out about the Down syndrome event that we had that day, because she's got a set of twins and one of her girls has got Down syndrome. And after she came down here and talked with us and actually visited the school, they, like Kathy said, she uprooted her family, moved down here. She has to drive that much farther to work. And she said her child was up in the upper northern area there, whereas basically recession, she wasn't gaining any extra knowledge or doing hardly anything. And she came down here and now she's blossoming. She said that without that, the kid wouldn't be anything like she's doing now. And she's out there playing baseball right now. And before that, she wouldn't even do anything. So it's great. It is. It's a great thing.
Outstanding. What do you need from the community? Are there any things that you'd like to have the community do that they haven't done already? I can't imagine, but I'm letting you have a chance to. Here's what we need, folks.
Keep up with the wonderful support and know that 70% of the money stays here so we can keep up the playground and the baseball field.
Yeah, a lot of people probably think the county takes care of that.
Right, and they don't. And that's the big thing that Kathy was just saying. The biggest percentage of the money stays in town. The little bit that does go to the Down Syndrome Association, we do to help fund them too. But all of our funds that we make off of this event is all given back to either or those two things. We don't take any money for any of the work that we do all year long. We don't take any money for any of the people that help out. Everybody donates 110% of their time. The little bit of overhead that we have, sometimes we have to take out of that to compensate for it, but basically everything's given back to the community and the Down Syndrome Association. Just like the KC Hall, basically they take their funds out of what they need to pay for their products, and then all that money gets donated to us, which in turn we turn around and donate. So it's a great thing. Another thing that's really awesome that we just found out this year, if you got a child that is needing service hours, please come. But the next best thing is A+ program. Both Valley and St. Jen's got an A+ program. This is service hours that feeds that also. Since it's dealing with children and stuff, it takes care of A+ program also. So just bring the kids in, sign them up, and I can, or myself or Kathy can sign off and give them service hours, which is great.
Okay. Well, this is going to be on YouTube and it's going to be on TV in town, so let's give them some contact information. If someone wants to help out, even if they're outside the community, what can they do?
Please have them contact Marzuco Electric. It's 883-5347. Ask for Kathy or Chip. We'll be happy to, with any kind of donations, any kind of funding that you want to do, please contact us. And the other communities around us is starting to jump in. Perryville actually donates a lot of funds and stuff for the baskets also, because we do have a lot of people coming from Perryville and Farmington and up in the northern end of St. John County and southern part of Festus that comes down to these events, and they're all jumping in and starting to donate. So please contact Kathy and I at Marzuco Electric. That would be great. And we take donations any time of the year, and we'll keep it and have it stored for next year's event. If they can, if they don't have something like that, please come out for the day's event. We've got a lot of great things happening here, a lot of great raffle items, so you can come down and spend some money.
If they missed this year, what's the date for next year? Is it always the...
Don't ask me that right.
This is the first weekend in June. Is that first Saturday of June?
Usually it's going to be the first Saturday of June. If we can have this kind of weather every first Saturday of June, we're going to have it first Saturday of June.
All righty, very good. Chip and Kathy Marzuco, thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and thank you so much for all you do for the community.
Oh, no problem, Don. Thank you.
We have a tagline that we use that I've loved throughout the years, and it's where limitations are forgotten and differences are celebrated. I can't change my son. I can't change the differences that you see, but what an amazing thing if we can start to celebrate those differences.
I can just let Gracie go and drive, and kids will just come up and talk to her. But at other playgrounds, you won't see that happen. But there's just something magical about these playgrounds.
Braden is a 12-year-old autistic boy. His disabilities are basically, nonverbal and the autistic spectrum. Kids like my son and kids with special needs absolutely have an equal opportunity to play on this playground.
So my son was born with a disability that puts him in a wheelchair, and pretty much everything we do is difficult for Zach. Inclusive playgrounds suddenly started to break down those barriers. The little kids don't care anymore. They realize that Zach can do absolutely everything they can do.
Probably my favorite memory when all the kids come running in. You know, you had disabled and mainstream kids side by side playing. You don't see that every day.
Over the years, I've been inspired to continue unlimited play by so many moments that I get to see as families get to watch as their children play for the very first time.
Gracie.